Hello and welcome back to Bube Trader. Today I will review the stock market with the S&P 500, SPY, Nasdaq, QQQ, Dow Jones, IWM, crude, oil, dollar, gold, and lumber, as well as TLT. So I will start with S&P 500. So you can see it actually from here last week when it was here, I expected a pullback and then bounce. But I also say that it could come back into the channel. And then my target was 6,600. And when you trace back, you can see Friday is actually touched 6,600 and then pull back a little bit. Okay. So now, what do we have next in store for this coming week? Okay. So now, if I delete this for now, and then sketch the very short-term channel, we can see that, look. So it looks like it, for the short-term about let's say 6 weeks, it's actually come up. It came up a little bit. So it might come up a little bit more, but I would say it will hit 6,600 again. And then from there, it will come back to test. Okay, so if I zoom in like this, you will see it come down like this from, let's say it bounce again on Monday or Tuesday to 6,600, and it will come back and attack this line as about 65.72. Okay, so, and after that, I believe it might come back down and test right here at about 65.33. Okay, and then it either will bounce up like this, or it will coming down to test right here at 64.28, which is the high of this candle right here. So we want to see how it's gonna play, because most likely we have a pullback, a little bit of a pullback. Then it's been bouncing the last couple of weeks already. It might even come up more, but I don't see a lot of upside unless we have more. Maybe the cut coming this coming week might be the sell the news event, and it will come down to here or even here. We don't know. We have to see. We'll check back probably maybe Wednesday night, or or even Thursday night. All right, so move to SPY. You can see that I also expect a pullback and then a bounce, but it's actually bounced a little bit more to 659 and then pull back a little bit. So again, if we look at the if I delete these for now and focusing on the very short term, okay, like that. So basically it's hit the resistance already. Okay, so I do expect a pullback. Okay, at least, oops, down to here, and then come up and retest the high, or it even come down lower after the Fed decision, and it should at least test this low or this high right here. But for SPY, it might come down and test this low right here at 636. All right. For Nasdaq, okay, so it bounced again, and for Nasdaq, we have something like this. Okay, and for the low, we got something like this. Okay, so again, it might bounce a little bit, but it might pull back right here to test this and this as about, let's say, 24, 23,933, and then maybe it will bounce again before pulling back higher, I mean lower. So that's what I'm expecting coming out of Fed, because usually it's a sell the news event, and when it might even pull back even more, testing probably this candle to close the gap here as 23 233. Yep. Okay. Or it might come up after the Fed decision and then test the previous high right here. So Monday and Tuesday, it might have a little bit of bounce. So same for QQQ. Okay. So expected a pullback probably about here, and then a bounce, or it might come down and close this gap at 566. Okay. For Dow Jones, remember here I said, oh, this has a bull flag here, so it might come up a little bit more, but after that I expect a pullback. So it looks like it's bounce, pull back only a little bit and bounce more. Now let's draw short-term trend line. All right, so it looked like it's also wedging here. Most likely it will pull back a little bit next week to at least here. 45.6, 45.662. And then maybe bounce a little bit and test the previous one. Or most likely, I'm thinking it might come down all the way down here to test the previous high here and low here, as well as here. So now, we might have something like this. As right at about 45,000. Okay, so these are the level that we need to look. If somehow, you never know, the rate cut might make it bounce even more before pull down low. So basically what can happen is it will bounce above this resistance and then come back and test it. So it's gonna hit around here. So we have to check back and see what it does on Wednesday. Okay. All right. Next we have Russell 2000 ITF. All right. So I say that we might have a pullback a little bit and then bounce, but it just pull a little bit and then bounce up and almost hit 242. So now you can see, okay, so basically the bull flag already played out. So now, most likely, we will have a pullback. We might even have a little bit of a bounce. Then, it will pull back to 232. Okay, and then 220. So 232 will be the next target right here. And it is a bounce or even pull back more to 220. So we might have a little bit of a bounce tomorrow, for the next couple of days. All right, next will be oil. Well, oil, it pulled back a little bit, bounce, right? Even though it didn't pull back as much, it actually hit the support here, bounce, came back, test the same, bounce a little bit more. So now if I look at it for the short term, we have something like this. Okay, we got something like this, and most likely it might pull back a little bit and then bounce more. But if it breaks this wedge, it might come up down to up to 66, or even higher, as much as 70. Okay, so these are the level that we need to watch. Okay, over here it's gonna come down and test this resistance becoming support. it looks to me, if we looking at the long-term, right, long-term trend, it's actually trending sideways, and I think is about to make a higher move here, unless we have really bad economic or even recession confirmed. It might even go lower, but we'll have to see how they're gonna play out next time. Probably I'll check back in a week. All right, for dollar. So dollar, it pulled back a little bit, then bounce, pull back, bounce a little bit, but it's hugging the support right here. So now, okay, so let me zoom out a little bit. So now it looked like the trend is a little bit less. It actually let me see. Okay, so look like we are at the support here. So oops, so we might bounce a little bit more and test this high right here, and then it might break out to 98 before coming back to test and then bounce more. We don't know, but this is my prediction for dollar in about a week or two. Gold. So gold, I expected to pull down lower and then bounce, but looked like from last week it pulled just a little bit and then bounced more, but seemed like it's making another top. So every time it make a top, it will come down, at least you can see. Okay, we'll take this one out. Okay, you can see at least it will come back down here to about 35, 31, and it might bounce again. So usually, you know, as long as it's broke out of the trend, most of the time it will come back down and test this line again before it can bounce even more. All right, so we will check back in a week and see how it is. Lumber. So lumber, when it was here, I expected to bounce and pull back and bounce again. At least it will hit 580. But guess what? From here, it pulled back a little bit and boom, it hit 580. So what's next for lumber? So it looked like it actually tested here. So I think we might have a pullback first, and then I think it's gonna come up and test about 615. So that's the line. Okay, so look like 538 right here was a good support bounce, and we might pull back from here a little bit, and then we might bounce higher to 615. Okay, so that's for lumber. All right, lastly we have TLT. Last week it was right at this line here, so I say I expect a pullback, but it might come up and test 90, and it did, and then I expect a pullback now. Okay, so it might be doing this. Come pull back down here to test, and then bounce again. You might not know if they cut. It might come up to at least 92.86 to close this gap. So I'm going to put 93 at the level that it might come up and hit it. And this might be in a week or two. So we'll have to see how it is. Okay, or it could be this would back down, and if the Fed cut and nothing really changes, it might pull down more because rate gonna come up. So we will have to see. Okay, it's gonna be this week will be a lot of things gonna happen, so we have to keep an eye on it. Right, thanks for watching. Please hit a like, share, and subscribe. See you next video.